Hello everybody, welcome back to Punk Right. My name is Smee. Today we're going to take a look at the dimensionality of stories. I was working my way through a thick Ken Follett book. I was thinking, how do we encapsulate an entire experience so that it makes sense in our brain? And how can we think about writing it out? Stick around, don't go anywhere. So here I am in Ephrata, Pennsylvania, home of Paul B. and other things Americana. And I decided to, in my summer break, to get through a large book, a big book by Ken Follett. This book has been sitting around in my apartment for quite a long time. And when I have these big books, I have to mentally prepare myself to get into them. How do you get into reading big books without feeling so intimidated that you just simply never pick it up? But from a writer's point of view, it becomes even more impressive to think about the construction of such a large piece of literature. Ken Follett is known for writing these long pieces, and these types of historical fiction have become famous for him because of the way that he puts these stories together. To appreciate that type of story construction, we kind of have to think a little bit about how we process story in our brains. And I often go back to this in the videos that I make, but it's a hugely important part of understanding story because our brains are designed to appreciate story and to relate experiences through individuals. We do this both verbally but also in the written form. What we're trying to do in literature or books and storytelling is encapsulate a complete experience. Often you're going to hear about linear story structures and plot structures that think about how you can build character in a very clear and easy way for an author. As I get into these Ken Follett books, I understand that sometimes it's underrating the value of our experience in terms of that storytelling technique. I've done a couple of videos on linear story structures. I'll put them in the links right here. You can check them out later if you'd like. And I do not want to undervalue the technique applied in these types of structures like Freytag's pyramid. They're very useful in terms of conceiving your story and how you want to put it together. When you look at something this thick, however, there are a couple of different ways that authors are putting these together. In some point or another, you're going to have to sit back and actually plan it out, reassess what you've written, and fill in some gaps. What you're trying to do is to grow a complete experience. We have to appreciate that they are not flat. They are not two-dimensional. They are not necessarily linear. What we're looking at is a complete experience that is full and glowing and that addresses so many different parts of our human experience that it's difficult to put it out on a single line. One way that we can appreciate and also improve our own storytelling technique is to think about the dimensionality of the story, and particularly get away from this two-dimensional thinking of both character and storytelling. Linear storytelling has its limitations because you're only able to tell one event after another. But if you think about your job as a storyteller or your job as a reader in appreciating the story, what you're looking at is a full multi-dimensional experience. Think about it as an orb, a three-dimensional orb, or even a four-dimensional orb that looks at transcending time and space in some aspects. This is the art of your storytelling. And it allows me the opportunity to look at this entire full experience from different perspectives or different points of view. This is an important author technique in terms of approaching and completing the fullness of an event because you can look at it from different perspectives. Now, to go back to Ken Follett for a moment and looking at how he builds a big book, one of his techniques that is very effective is the use of multiple characters and multiple points of view. The beauty of being able to do this is that it allows you to approach the experience that he's creating or the event that he's creating from different perspectives, both positive and negative, from a protagonist perspective or an antagonistic perspective, to help you appreciate more objectively the event that is happening. Make sure that you have a clear understanding of your characters. And not only of the characters in their relationship to the event, but also their relationship to other characters. This is going to allow you to create a very full retelling of what your novel is about. There are important aspects of storytelling that may focus on singular points of view. Hermann Hesse, for example, Damien is told from a single point of view, and it allows you to enter the psyche deep into that character that he's trying to tell. But if you're looking at larger books like this, I think it's extremely important that you think about the depth of your characters and the relationship to those characters in order to create the fullest experience that you possibly can, or the complete orb of storytelling. That's it for today on Punk Ride. Thanks for joining us. And remember, if you like the content and you enjoyed the visit, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe below. It'll keep you up to date with all things punk rock, like my novel coming out in September. I'm looking for a launch date in September 22nd of Scar Boys, which is a young adult dystopian novel that keeps you moving and keeps you on your toes. I think you'll thoroughly enjoy it, so stay tuned. Until then, you just keep on writing. Punk right.